Hello Capricorn, welcome to your full moon in Scorpio reading. So before we get started, I want to cover a couple of things. Number one, about personal readings. I am booked up this week. I'm almost booked up next week, and I'm only taking a few right now a week because I'm trying to just practice some self-care. And so you can still reach out to me, but just know that I'm booking them out. Okay, and also this is a Scorpio full moon, so things might be surfacing during this time, and like things that are in your subconscious and your shadow aspects, things like that. And so you have this golden opportunity, to confront these things, to process them, or to turn a blind eye and later repeat the cycle. So just so you know, like, you do have that choice. If you do choose to confront what is arising for you, I always tell everybody to just set aside a time and allow yourself to process it during that time, and then you can shift your focus to, your gratitude, things that you've gained, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with your shadow energy. You have clinging to the past. And you also have isolation. So I feel like you could be, really alone with your thoughts right now. Like, you're kind of hanging on to some things that happened in the past, and you may have a little confusion about it. You may be really struggling with the things that you've said to people in the past, and you could just be feeling really guilty about it. I kind of feel like you're needing to release these things. You could be, honestly, with this, I'm seeing the throat chakra with this blue. Like, maybe you're really wanting to apologize to somebody. You're wanting to, settle the score and, balance things out between you and another person. You also have this facade energy. And so I feel like, and also intensity. I feel like what this is saying here is that you have some confusion right now about what you're really wanting. And I'm feeling like what this is that you are, like, you get really inspired to go do something and you go like full speed ahead. And then you change your mind and you do that on something else, and it's like, maybe it's overworking you, and it's like you're getting to a point where you're like, okay, I need to just pick one thing and go with it, because you could just be getting really overwhelmed right now. Additionally, you could be, I kind of hate to say this, but you could be like outwardly expressing that you're happy, but like on the inside you're feeling really alone, like you're feeling really misunderstood, and like the people around you don't really know. Okay, about the kind of jumping around, this says specificity matters. The universe can only give you what you ask for. So narrow it down and be as specific as possible. And so I'm feeling like you might be just kind of bouncing around, not entirely sure on what it is that you're really even wanting. And it can be very confusing for the universe and how, the universe can bring you what you're asking for. Okay, so you may need to write some things down. Additionally, back to this clinging to the past, excuse me, you have this negativity card, and this is about a distorted view. And so that's what I was saying. Do you see this? Do you see how that looks distorted? It's just all scrambled together. And so it's like I was saying, I feel like since this is your shadow energy, that's what you're needing. You're needing to sit down with a journal or, a trusted person and kind of filter through, what's a facade and what are facts. Okay, what are the facts of a situation? Because I feel like a lot of the times when we have these negative negative thinking processes that we project onto situations, we're more likely to self-sabotage. So you're needing to really get the facts of everything before you make any sudden decisions, okay? So there's that. And so you have these like really quick moving energies. This is the Knight of Wands. You also have the Knight of Swords. So it's like you're really needing to get the facts of everything before you move in any direction, to avoid impulsive actions, okay, that you may later regret, okay? So you also have this mask energy. Goes with this facade. Like I was saying, it's like you're not expressing to people in your environment that you're struggling. You know, people around you don't really know because you're telling them you're so happy. Okay? And it's like you're really needing to get open and honest with people right now, and that's what I'm seeing. You also have the soulmate energy. So you could be dealing with a soulmate, or you have that coming in. I'm going to get to that in a second. So, you have this Two of Wands energy, and I've explained the Two of Wands energy of repeating our patterns or choosing another way, okay? And one of these is holding a key, and it's like this is the key that unlocks, you know, the path to joy and happiness and freedom. And you have that choice. You have the choice to isolate yourself and cling to the past, okay? And maybe, you know, stay stuck in these negative thinking processes, or you can open up to healing, getting the facts of the situation, getting clarity, communicating with people, you know, reaching an understanding, letting people know that you're struggling, stuff like that. You know, it's like you have that choice. But look, like you see, follow your bliss. You have the choice to follow your bliss. So you have the World card, the Ace of Wands, and incoming, and this is like a game changer news that's heading your way. It could have to do with you deciding to move away. It could also have to do with closing out a cycle and finally communicating with somebody that you've been needing to communicate, so that you can communicate with, so you can have some clarity, okay? It's almost like you've really struggled to move forward in your life, because you need this clarity. You could even need closure, okay? Like it's really interfered with your ability to like pick up and move on, okay? Because you're needing this. You need this clarity. But I definitely feel like that's coming to you. Because you also, at the bottom of the deck, you have the Eight of Wands, and this is like back and forth communication. This can also tie into this intensity card, where you're kind of like, you know, hopping around from one thing to the next, really unsure of what it is that you're wanting to invest in, which, you know, for a Capricorn is an earth sign, so it's a very grounded energy. And so, I mean, for you to be in this kind of energy shows me that the wounds in the past, like things that have happened in the past, they're driving your life, okay? And you're needing to reel it in and, you know, take those reins and take control, okay? Because you have that power. So, and as I say that, I look down to abracadabra. You do. You have the power, all right? Like, look at this. This figure is just up here touching the stars, right? As if like she's so connected to what's going on in the cosmos, to the point that she could even maneuver them, right? And obviously you cannot maneuver the planets yourself, but you can like maneuver things, right, in your life. You have this power, and which will enable you to live a life where you're following your bliss, okay? Live a life where you're feeling like there's resolution and understanding and that kind of thing. So about that, if you make that choice, which you have the power to do that, look what you have coming to you. You have the Ace of Coins, you have the Page of Cups, you have the Two of Cups, you have the Ten of Cups, okay? And it's like you have this power to attract this, or to not just attract this, but to like live this, to experience this. You do, because it's like you're needing to say abracadabra and, you know, speak it into existence, or to allow it to come into your existence. You know, you could be hanging on to something from the past so much that it is interfering with your ability to have this amazing energy. Okay, and so it's like it's up to you to move on. You have the Compromise card. You also have the Boat card, which this can be about having closure issues, but this can also be about receiving what you need so that you can finally move on. And so this could have to do with a soulmate that you're not in union with, or even one that you are in union with, and there's just some discord between the two of you that needs to be resolved, and you're so busy saying, oh, everything is all good, you know, well, secretly, you know, behind, under the surface, you're struggling and you're not really expressing that. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's up to you to do that. The decision is completely all yours. I don't even know what happened to the Two of Wands energy, but the decision is yours. Like, you get to decide what path to go down. Okay, and like I said, specificity matters. Like, how can the universe really give you what you want if you're kind of jumping back and forth between, you know, what you really want, and you're not like openly expressing it? You know what I mean? It's like up front, you're like, oh, I'm so happy. When under the surface, you're like, this is really bugging the crap out of me. And so the universe is like, well, I don't know what to give you, because you're going back and forth between the two. You know what I mean? So a lot of you are with a person because it's the wedding rings. Excuse me. But this can also be about union. Like, you're needing to speak up and allow yourself to communicate with somebody. Allow yourself to accept an offer or to give an offer to somebody so that you can have this. This 10 of Cups is like ultimate happiness with another person. Two of Cups is, you know, like it can be a soul deep connection. It can be just an intimate connection. It can also just be a partnership, you know, allowing yourself to partner up with somebody. It can be about union. Okay. The Page of Cups can be about apology. And so if you're really struggling with things that you've said in the past, with this clinging to the past, you see all these mouths. They look as though like there are words coming out, like in some of the spots. And so if you're struggling with some of the things that you've said in the past that you really want to clear the air about, this Page of Cups is, you know, your chance to do that, right? But it's all about you. You make the decision. You know, are you going to communicate? This Eight of Wands to go, you know, Knight of Wands or Knight of Swords. These are communication cards. Whereas the other one, the Ace of Swords, another card of communication. So it's like, it is up to you to do that, right? And like, when you do, this is what you have. You have the goodness of life. Look at this. Doesn't that just look like goodness? You know, it looks like joy and happiness. And if you can see, they even kind of have similar energies, right? So it's like, you get to embrace that. You just may need to step outside of your comfort zone, which I know is hard to do sometimes, right? Step outside of your comfort zone and just be open to communicating and to kind of just see where things go. If you just step outside of your comfort zone, allow yourself to shift your perspective, not hang on to the past so much, and just kind of see what happens when you communicate with somebody, okay? So you also have the Flamingo card. This is balance and chaos. This can also be enjoying friends and dealing with your emotions, right? So it's like, you're needing to deal with it. You can't just keep isolating and being like, yeah, I'm happy, everything's okay, but like deep down you're not dealing, you're suppressing because you're still kind of, you're upset, you're not talking these things through. And like, this is your sign to do that, because if you allow yourself to compromise, you allow yourself to communicate, you have some really truly amazing energy. 10 of Cups, 2 of Cups, soulmate, look at all this. So it's like, the ball is in your court. So what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Okay, so that's all I have for Capricorn, and I'm gonna do Aquarius next. Bye.